Hello, we are the Leonkoro Quartet. We are from Berlin. We started the quartet 6 years ago. Here we are playing 90 concerts a season, and we really enjoy making music together. At the moment, we're still playing nearly everywhere for the first time, so it's quite exciting time for our quartet.
Now, I don't have this specific question on the list today, but I am curious because you did mention this. How does that work with 90 concerts right now as you're only 6 years in to developing the quartet? I mean, are you just mainly focused on Europe and traveling around, or are you going to Asia and North America and that sort of thing?
I have to start with, we have a fantastic agency and they plan our tours in periods. So we have 2 weeks tour and then we have, 2 weeks or 3 weeks off. And so we can actually manage quite well when do we rehearse and because the periods are always the same. It doesn't matter that much where we're going in that sort of sense. And we will be going to the US actually in
1 month.
Yes.
We actually just came back from the US Embassy today because we had our visa appointment and it got approved.
Yes.
Got approved. So we are looking forward to 13 concerts in March and April.
Amazing. Oh, well, congratulations. It's always a hurdle to get through that part, isn't it?
Yes.
In terms of breakthrough moments for the quartet, like where you really felt like, wow, we have something that's actually commercially viable. I mean, obviously, there's plenty of artists that want to perform, but they're not necessarily commercial successes. People don't want to hire them, and they might be passionate and skilled too, but they're not commercially successful. So, what moments, for you as the quartet kind of occurred where you felt, wow, this is a commercial success. We can do this full time, make money, etc.
I think before, we did a competition where we got second prize. But after that, I think it was getting into an agency, actually. I think competitions don't, in the long term, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can make a career out of it. But if you're at an agency, then you will have the connection to the venues and promoters.
Yes. I still remember the day when we got the first mail from an agency in Germany, and they asked us to try out collaborating and playing a few concerts with them. And I think that is very important for young quartets, that there are people who have the possibilities to give a chance to young people, that they give these possibilities to these groups, and then you get so motivated. And so we really felt, even we haven't done any competition, we just put something on YouTube actually. And then we got so motivated and we felt like, oh, there are people really listening to this and they're really interested and they want to support us. I think that's where we felt the first time we should proceed with the work we're doing.
When you receive so much support, it's very motivating.
And that's cool to hear that. I'm curious if that's much more of a European thing, because working in no, I know why I laugh is in chuckling, I should say. It's because I knew in New York it's not so supportive. It's a very cutthroat business in New York, and people are not supportive. So I'm curious how that works. I'm sure it's radically different from your experience, especially, in Germany, the arts are just booming. You have everything in Germany, and obviously it's a hotbed for the arts for, hundreds and hundreds of years. So I'm curious if it is a cultural thing.
I think almost more of a German thing than a European thing. Right?
Yes, well, maybe. I feel like here we don't look so much on who won what, because everybody has a first prize nowadays. There are so many competitions. It feels like every week. I think it's not that important anymore as it used to be, I think. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. It's really hard to describe. But still, of course, there is of course competition here as well. I don't say it's not like this. Especially also between young string quartets, that there's not so much space in the market, and there are a lot of quartets who want to perform.
Let's take a quick break. If you're a classical musician, you know that talent alone is not enough to be seen and heard in today's marketplace. You need visibility. Over the past 15 years, I've worked as a brand strategist in classical music, working with artists and organizations, building that visibility for them. I've helped artists win Grammy Awards and nominations, such as Jessie Montgomery and the Miró Quartet, and I've helped Yoon Chan Lim achieve global stardom through my work at the Cliburn. If you're a classical musician looking for that visibility to propel you forward to attain better engagements, reach out because I'd love to explore working with you. Simply tap the link below to explore more and schedule a time to speak with me. Now, back to the conversation. In terms of your musical influences that shape the sound that the quartet currently has, can you speak to individual artists, other quartets that influence that sound?
I think it really comes down to two quartets, and it's the Artemis Quartet and the Alban Berg Quartet. In the beginning, we started studying with the Artemis Quartet because they're teaching here in Berlin. And we also studied with the former second violin in Lübeck. We did a master graduation there. And then actually from the beginning also we studied with Günther Pichler from the Alban Berg Quartet until now. So for the full 6 years where he's mentoring us. And of course you don't try to copy anybody, but if you listen to your teacher's recordings, then of course you get inspired by this. So I think in the end, it's kind of a mixture of these two quartets. And of course, we try to find our own sound as well. I think it's an ongoing process. It's really, every week we sound a little bit different, I feel like.
And as you perform so many concerts, has there been one that stood out to you where, out of all the crowds that you played for and all the different countries, was there one moment, not necessarily the fanciest, but just something that impacted you?
I think there are quite a few we can pick to be very special, but I feel like always when we play in Berlin, and we have played a few times here now, it's always special because this is always the place where most people come we know. So it's mostly teachers, it's friends, and it's very special. We're very nervous at these concerts. But in the end, they're very rewarding, and playing in the Berlin Philharmonie or in the Boulez-Saal, the two fantastic concert halls we have here for chamber music in Berlin. These concerts were really special for us as a quartet, I think. And then there are some concerts where you feel afterwards that has been one of the most special concerts we've played so far. I think the concerts we've played in Berlin, not about the quality how we played, but just about the feeling. I think that has been very special.
I also want to add a very personal one because we have lots of debuts and they're all extremely special in their own way. But for me, one that is super memorable and in a super tiny place, or I don't know if it's that tiny, but it's a place in Germany and known for, I think, metal festival. It was during the pandemic. It was one of the first concerts where there was live audience again. And we had 3-4 concerts until then, and at the applause, it was incredible to have people again because we were such low priority during COVID, and knowing that there are people who actually want to come, that was extremely touching and also very motivating to also continue, and knowing that this is why we're doing it.
If you think about the current season that we're in, I mean, obviously we're well over halfway through, and you spoke about the concerts and the various tours. Is there particular highlights that are yet to come this season that you want to speak to?
We're extremely excited for the US tour. Not just the venues, we're the entire experience. We have never been, I don't think we've ever had to travel that much through different time zones. So this is a first and very exciting. What else? We have a lot of exciting things in the summer.
Yes, of course, summer festivals are always special. We're going to be in Salzburg Festspiele again, and we're going to have a tour in Romania. We have never been there. I think it's unfair to pick one out of these, but I think we're very excited at the moment to our next tour in the US, and we have a lot of friends also in the US, and we hope that they're coming to our concert and meet them. And so I think it's going to be a big adventure.
Amazing. And what's, right before the interview, I did see, I think you're in Oregon is one of the states, right? That you're, is it just Oregon, or are there other states that you're doing?
We don't know the states there, but we know the cities. We're so sorry.
That's okay.
We started in Aspen, Oregon, and then we have 3 in California. And then Houston, Texas, Salt Lake City, Utah, this city, Missouri, New York, Schenectady, New York, and then Montgomery, Boston, Chicago, and then the last one is in Canada, in Montreal.
Oh, amazing. Where is is it New York City or just the Schenectady one?
New York City.
It's 92nd Street.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, great. So so congrats. I mean, that's like a lot. That's like you're starting from what the list that you named. You start on the West Coast, you go to the Midwest, and then and the East Coast. Probably on the way back to Europe then.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, and 92nd Street Y is an awesome venue. Yeah, they have a great lineup of all kinds of arts that happen there, but it's specifically classical that occurs there. So yeah, very cool. In terms of your long-term career goals of where you're trying to take the quartet over the next 5 to 10 years, can you speak to that? You know, what are some specific goals?
I think at the moment I think the goal is to continue how it's going now, so that we are able to play that many concerts. And I think we're really happy with this now. And I think what we would enjoy a lot in the future is teaching. We already taught at some master classes for 1 day or 2 days, and we enjoyed it a lot. And I think we would be very happy if we got more possibilities for that.
In terms of recording projects, are there any kind of plans for that?
Yes, we're going to record next week. We have already published 1 CD 2 years ago. Now we are going to start working with Alpha Classics, and we're going to record our first CD with them next week.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Are you able to speak to the program right now, or is that still a secret until later on?
I wouldn't mind, but I don't know what we're allowed to say.
Yes, I wouldn't mind. I think it's better
not to.
Yeah.
We'll keep it a secret then.
Yeah. It's not a secret that we're recording with them. So
Yes, that's true.
Got it. Well, that's exciting. Congrats. Let me know. Reach back out when it's the album's out, because I would love to listen to it.
Yeah, it's going to be January 26th.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be here sooner than we think, right? Year, it's near away. In terms of legacy, so not just long-term goals, but say, you fast forward and you're thinking about retirement. How do you want to think about what you've accomplished as a quartet? Are there also kind of not goals, but more of specific milestones, or, something that seems a little bit more monumental over the various decades that you worked?
Well, what we really enjoy in terms of programming is to, of course, play the masterpieces we have, but also discovering pieces which have been forgotten and maybe sometimes are played not often enough. And I think one goal for us is to discover these and present them to the audience and maybe record them. And that's always our goal, to combine those pieces with the very popular ones in our program. So I think it would be great if people would remember us with that they discover pieces through us.
Last part of the podcast is quickfire round. So just short answers. These are kind of more or less focused on individual artists, not necessarily the quartet. So because there's just 2 of you today, maybe you just take one each or something and just focus on, you personally and how you feel about it. So the first one is, what's one talent you have that would surprise our listeners?
I don't know if it's a talent, but I speak 4 languages. So.
Well, that's very impressive.
When I was a teenager, I always loved to draw and paint, and I really was serious about it. And I feel like I could still do a lot with it, but I didn't follow it since I started studying music. I'm a little bit sad about it, but I feel like there is a hidden talent.
If you could collaborate with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Well, for me, it would be definitely a singer, I have to say. And
is it Pavarotti?
Yeah, someone like Pavarotti or Maria Callas. For me, the singing voice is just the biggest inspiration for my music making. And I grew up a lot with opera, and I love listening to the human voice. I could not say now who, but I think Pavarotti would be, yeah.
I love that. And 2 of my favorites, Callas and Pavarotti. I love both. And Mayu, do you have Any thoughts on that, or no? You want to pass?
But you said dead or alive because I'm extremely sad that I never heard the Oberberg Quartet live. This is, I mean, they played well, but I was too little, so I don't know if it's collaboration is possible. Well, it is octet. So I guess that.
If you weren't a musician, what other profession do you think you'd pursue?
Well, I would be definitely, I always thought if it doesn't work out, I would be a handcraft man, like working with wood. And I always had a little, room in my parents' house where I work with wood and build things. And I would really enjoy creating an own shelf or table and all these kind of things. I think that I would enjoy a lot, creating something out of
An object.
Yes.
I almost went to study linguistics, so probably that. But I mean, think about it now. I'm glad I didn't, because I don't know. I don't have the brains to like sit down, study, and write down things. So yeah.
What's the first thing you do in the morning that helps set the tone for your day?
Drinking water.
I used to, in summer, I like the cold shower, but in winter it's a bit too cold. But really cold shower in the morning is quite nice.
What does success mean to you?
Being able to do in your life what you love. So for us at the moment, I feel like we are successful. It sounds stupid, but we are successful because we really can do for our living what we love to do. And I think that is, then you have a successful life when you really can choose what to do.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah.